Talking Guys, episode 42.
42. How would it be?
Patrick?
Still waking up, you know. I'm like in that weird in between, um, being
It's
awake
called the
and
upside
being
down.
asleep. Say what?
Called the upside down.
In the upside down. Yeah. So I just came out from the upside. No, I guess I'm still in there. I don't know. That's a good show, though. We should
Thanks.
totally
I
watch
wrote
that.
it.
No, you did. No, you did not. You did not watch. You did not write Stranger Things. First off.
I've written a lot of strange things.
Yeah, well, okay. Whatever, dude. Quit being a troll. I wonder whenever the next season for that's going to come out because they're still going.
Sometime this year, Netflix had released a picture on Twitter, I believe, that had a list of the shows scheduled for release this year. No date was given, as far as I'm aware.
That's an interesting thing to think about is, do you really think things are going to be released like when they say they're going to be released this year with everything
No,
going on?
not at all.
Like,
No Time to Die was expected to be in theaters November of 2019. It was delayed till October because that was pushed to April this year. I think this is the 5th or 6th time it's been delayed.
Well, they're just
So
not very good at
it'll come
recording
out
movies.
October, maybe.
You had something to say before I rudely interrupted you, Seth?
Yeah. I saw something on well, it was just a meme, but it said how to know if you're like if a movie's on Netflix. And it's like, first ask yourself, do you want to watch it? The answer is yes, then no. So it made me think, and there's really not many good movies on Netflix. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
never
true.
go to Netflix for movies.
Mostly for TV shows. That's what I watch when I.
Like, and when they are, it's a Netflix original. Like, they don't get any good movies from like other people. That's thought the same way.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of any great movies I've watched on Netflix in a while.
Well, I believe the majority of the movies are on like Stars, Showtime, or HBO.
HBO also has, it's been okay. I remember it having more better movies, but lately I've been having to scroll too much. Amazon's where you go.
Amazon has a lot of good content now, in general.
I don't have Stars, so I don't know how good that one is.
It's just another reason why Bezos is so rich, you know? He just keeps broadening his influence into every popular thing that we're into. So their streaming service is pretty freaking nice now. It has a lot of good shows on it too.
They failed on their video game though, so
On what video game? Which one?
can't remember what it was called, but it didn't even make it out of beta. It was alright, fun. It was a cool idea. It just wasn't well made.
New World?
We had talked about that in an episode a while back.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it though. But
I don't think it's New World because New World.
I don't think it was New World. It was some weird shooter game. It was partial. It was like, how the Crucible is on Destiny, like partial PvP, partial PvP.
Yeah. Well, if anything, if Amazon has the money to do it, it would be Amazon because MGM wants $600 million for the streaming rights to No Time to Die.
What?
Yeah.
600 million.
Yeah, that's how much they're asking to have it streamed.
What?
Even though it's been delayed, like I said, like 6 times.
I'm trying to think of like what the last movie box office, but I don't actually know. But I don't feel like it was 600 million.
Well, that's what I think that's the expected take. So that's what
they also expected Wonder Woman 64 to be good, but
and it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, Wonder Woman 84 was disappointing.
I didn't even watch it. I started watching it and I just like stopped, and I haven't gotten back to finish it. I mean, like, I literally started and watched like 1 minute of it.
A full minute.
Mhm.
Nice.
I just wasn't feeling it that day. It's like, you know what? I don't really want to watch this movie right now. So I switched to another movie. And I still have not gone back and finish it. So now that you are saying this, it worries me because do I even want to go back and finish it at this point? Is it
No.
even worth watching? So you're telling me I spend all that money for HBO Max and they give me a crappy movie I didn't even want to see?
Well, you wanted to see it for at least a
Wait,
minute.
that's the sole reason you had acquired HBO Max?
Yes, just so I could see the new Wonder Woman movie.
Well, that was just a poor financial decision.
Yeah.
I love what's her name? Gal Gadot.
Yep.
I mean, she's pretty. And she's pretty cool. She has a cool backstory.
You know,
Because she's
being
actually
raised on an island.
no.
I think he's talking about the actress.
I'm
not,
talking about the real
not-
person. God, it's like special forces and all sorts of stuff, wasn't she? If I'm not mistaken, something like that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
Special Forces, I
Israeli
believe.
pretty cool.
I mean, she
Yeah.
knows Krav Maga.
Probably.
No, she could probably take on all three of us at once.
Do you think that she could
I'm-
possibly be
I'm
like
very
some
much
sort of
joking.
like, you know?
You guys would get in my way.
I missed what are you guys laughing about?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I had said that I think she could kick all of our asses at once.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Then I said you guys would get in my way.
No,
Shows that.
you would get in my way. Obviously, I wouldn't get my butt kicked by anybody.
I mean, I've been watching Cobra Kai and Kingdom, so I'm pretty much a professional fighter. So.
Now, Cobra Kai was on YouTube, right? Originally?
I have no idea. I just saw it
I
on
thought it
Netflix.
was
I
one
said,
of those
screw it.
YouTube originals before Netflix acquired it.
I mean, judging by the acting, I'd say you're right. We're just gonna say you're right.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best acting I've ever seen.
Not the best acting anyone's ever seen.
It definitely gives vibes of like Disney Channel or something, you know, back in the day. Like,
You know, the guy who plays LaRusso. Might be his first time to ever act. I don't know.
Wait, is it better or worse than Wonder Woman 84?
I enjoy it more. I mean, the acting quality is worse, definitely, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it more.
yeah.
Oh, enjoyment's all that matters, right?
That's how you judge a movie.
Not really. I would say that I guess enjoyment matters, but in reality, you know, we just had this argument yesterday because somebody likes a certain somebody. We're not going to name names. We don't want to throw people under the bus. But, you know, there's a lot of bad actors out there.
There are.
That make a lot of money. Isn't that weird?
You
like,
know,
how is it that these people that, like, aren't even good, right? And are crappy actors, like, they're just okay. Like, they're nothing special. Like, they don't make these wow performances that you're like, dude, like, this person just crushed it. How are they so famous? We give them millions of dollars. They get paid
What
millions of
actor were
dollars.
you all talking about?
I don't want to throw
no,
anybody
for some reason, we're not saying names, but whenever I said this actor, Patrick said he sucks. And then I said name people in his, you know, era that are better than him, and he couldn't do it.
He tried to throw people into his age group.
Yeah, I mean, because he's a younger actor, and so you can't compare him to the Will Smiths.
And see, that's why.
Wait, are we talking about his son?
No.
Okay.
But now that you mention it,
his son is awful.
There's really not that many good actors, or actresses for that matter. There's very few.
What was this guy in? Like, what he's starring?
It's Zac Efron. That's who we're talking about. We might as well just.
Wait, you think Zac Efron's a bad actor?
Yeah, he's a bad actor.
I think he's a great actor.
He's never been in a movie where he's been the star. That it's just like
Obviously,
guy
someone hasn't seen High School
is
Musical.
amazing. Right. A lame movie. I'm sorry. It's not cool. It was okay. But like if you go back and watch it nowadays, like it was so bad. So bad. It's
It was
cringeworthy.
bad, but it was also all
It's
of
a
their
Disney
coming
Channel
up,
movie, they're
and
all
all
the
of
same.
those people,
Yeah.
almost all of those people, had never acted before, or at least really acted. Like
Now
Vanessa
all
Hudgens was in Thunderbird. That doesn't really count.
Did you ever see The Greatest Showman, Patrick?
That's why I was watching it yesterday. That's what brought it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean the movie was okay. But like besides the like musical tracks, which there were some good songs in it, like whoever created the songs for The Greatest Showman, like did a good job. That and obviously they like auto tuned and like fixed up their voices so they actually sounded good. But because let's be real, I heard Hugh Jackman sing in La Miserable, and he was terrible. So bad.
He was good in
Worst
that
experience
movie.
of my life.
He
It
was
was
good
2
in that
hours.
movie.
It was 2
All
hours
right,
of
so
this guy being. Oh God.
let me
You
bring
really
down
liked him
Patrick's
singing?
volume to
Wait, isn't
absolutely
that the
nothing.
title of the movie, though?
Yeah, you're
Is
literally miserable
miserable?
because this guy sings so bad. He was so bad. Like Natalie Portman, she was okay. Uh, who was the other girl that was in it?
Not Natalie Portman. So let's start with the first one first.
Isn't it Natalie Portman?
You're talking about Anne
No,
Hathaway, right?
Anne Hathaway,
Anne Hathaway. Never mind.
Amanda
They look the same.
Seyfried.
Okay. They both were okay. Hugh Jackman was so bad.
There's another girl there too that I can't think of her.
We were talking about this too. I'm like, I want the Hugh Jackman back that was like Wolverine. Sick of him being in these.
I got so tired of him being Wolverine.
Oh, you want the roided out Hugh Jackman?
Yes. I'm sick of seeing him, running around, twirling in circles, singing badly. Like, get him back to like, real acting again. Gutting people with blades on his hands. That was number one. Yeah, no. He wasn't that great either. I just like, okay, if you're gonna play a part in a movie that's about singing, you should have to be able to sing. He
He
cannot
can sing.
No, he cannot.
Yes, he can.
He's off tune.
He's not.
You go okay. After listening to this, I want the viewers to go back and watch this movie and tell me, in Greatest Showman on Earth, they auto-tuned his voice. He does not sing like that. The La Miserable was literally, they did nothing to their voices, and that's how he really sounds. It is not good. I went to see that movie in theaters, and as somebody who has seen a lot of people and a lot of acting, and my sister sings, she's in choir, blah blah blah. He's so bad. Like if you actually like are somebody who's into or has listened to people that are like good at singing, he is so bad. Lots of them are. They're so bad. But
Yeah, and
because they have
most
these big
actors
box
don't
office
actually
names,
provide their own vocals.
right? For a good reason. So maybe they need to go back to that. Because I'm like,
I mean, I'm this close to pulling up a video of a song from Les Mis, and just to show how wrong Patrick is being right now. But I don't know if I care enough to try.
Please don't.
I think we'd get copyright stricken.
No,
Yeah.
you just gotta cut it enough. We also are not monetized, so who cares?
That's also true. Did y'all watch the fight last night? UFC 257.
But I heard that Connor got knocked out in
2
rounds.
Poirier. Yep. Poirier is the first man in history to knock out Conor McGregor.
What? Connor's done, man. It's over. His career's done.
Well, he's had one fight since 2018.
I feel like, he burned extremely bright and he is done now. Like he fizzled out.
I don't know.
I can't believe he got knocked out.
Yeah. Well, he kept going after Connor's leg, and it was pretty swollen in the start of the second round. So kind of.
He just kept kicking him in the leg, right? Yeah.
Should have guarded it.
Yeah.
Like
It's hard to guard your
Connor's
leg
all
like
talk.
that.
Like I've been saying for a very long time.
There was
Well,
definitely some
Connor
years.
hasn't really fought in a couple of years, so
Yeah, he was definitely good
He-
when he was in his
He's
prime.
he's always full of talk, but every fight that's mattered, he's lost. Saying.
Not true.
Did
He's beat.
he
He's
beat? Did he
almost
beat Mayweather? Did he beat this dude? No.
No,
Did he
but
come close to
Mayweather-
either? No.
that was a boxing fight, and he went the distance.
If you can MMA,
he
you
went
can box.
9 rounds.
If you can MMA, you can box.
No, you
Yes.
cannot.
Yes, MMA translates to boxing. Boxing does not translate to MMA.
It doesn't. It's completely different.
Yeah,
The
because
amount of
you have.
stamina required is almost twice. You need almost twice as much if you're going to box. And Mayweather is incredibly defensive.
I disagree with that. Hurt yourself a lot more grappling.
Yeah, but you got to remember that with boxing,
Boxing matches last.
they
almost twice as long.
purposely weight their gloves to make it harder for them to punch. So to last 9 rounds throwing punches at each other, your freaking arms are done.
He had time to train, all that good stuff. Like
Doesn't the
No.
one guy trained for like 30 years? You can't put a guy that literally has never trained as a professional boxer and then put him against one of the best boxers, or I guess I wouldn't say the best winning boxers. I don't think he's the best boxer because he's not very good at actually like knocking people out. He just wins off points.
Yeah,
That's-
he goes the distance. That's exactly what
Yeah,
McGregor did.
he
And
he
Mayweather
can
only won
throw.
because of decision. And he was going to win it because of him being Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, that's how he wins that's how Floyd wins all of his fights is through decision, or he wears people out so long that he'll get like a TKO in the 9th, 10th round. He'll
Yeah.
knock them out, and
'Cause
that's
he
how he
waits.
gets them. He
He
doesn't.
plays incredibly
doesn't fight
defensive.
people.
He doesn't
yeah,
do anything the first 7-8 rounds.
Yeah, he lets you wear yourself out, and then he finally fights you. I mean, I don't like his fighting style. It obviously works. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's never lost. But yeah, I don't think his fighting style. The thing that always bugged me about Floyd, it still bugs me to this day, is his fighting style would never win you a fight in real life. Like, you would never be, with MMA.
Yeah, but a
it's
lot
like,
of boxers aren't going to win a fight in real life.
I mean, striking, yeah. I wouldn't want to fight whatever his name is in the bar. I wouldn't want to fight I can't think. I definitely wouldn't want to fight Pacquiao in a bar fight. I was talking about the guy, the Tiger. What's his name?
Oh, are you talking about Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson. There you go. I would never want to fight Mike Tyson in a fight. Hell no. Like I would, if you tried to do like a bar fight or something with him, and you were just throwing punches, that guy would deck you. Honestly, even though he hasn't fought in so long, I feel like his hands are probably should still be considered lethal weapons.
Didn't he fight one of the Paul brothers recently?
I don't think he fought. He fought another professional fighter that had been retired.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I knew Mike Tyson had
then,
recently fought,
yeah,
but it was
and
more of like a celebrity,
yeah, it was like an exhibition match over like. I mean, they really did fight each other.
Yeah.
But they're old. And
Let's sit down your cane for a second.
I think Tyson actually didn't he lose? I can't remember if he lost or won. I really don't remember. Or maybe they went all the way. I don't think either of them knocked each other out because I kind of watched the fight. I'm pretty sure nothing really happened. They just like fought each other, and they both lasted the whole way, and somebody won by decision. It definitely wasn't, Tyson of old.
Well, I'm pretty sure that was scripted though. So Seth, you're gonna die on the hill that says that McGregor going into boxing, lasting as long as he did against arguably the greatest of all time that's currently active.
Well, he's the greatest of all time by record.
I never said it wasn't impressive. I said stamina should not be a thing. Going the distance should not be a thing. He had plenty of time and he focused his camp on what he needed to focus on. That's no excuse. If he didn't, that's his fault. Like, so if he didn't spend his entire time doing nothing but boxing drills and stamina drills and all those things, then he failed himself because it should not be an excuse. But him already having, striking ability along with everything else means that he can translate it into boxing just fine. Like he had to do specific drills and all that good stuff. I'm not saying that you could just grab an MMA fighter immediately and throw him in a boxing ring, but he had months and months to get ready for it. Probably over a year. They were talking about it way before anyone about it.
Yeah, but the fighting style's completely different.
Yeah, but if you're already a quote unquote good fighter, you can adjust your style. Like, it's the same muscle memory type stuff. There's just differences. Like, he had long enough to where none of that was an excuse. He just was not good enough.
Well, nobody's been good enough. Nobody's ever beaten.
I'm just saying, like, and what I'm saying is McGregor is not. He talks so much about how good he is, but he never backs it up in the fights that matters.
He backed it up in Diaz. He backed it up all those title fights he won. He's won every division he's fought in. He's beat the top person. That's how he got the belts. Now
Two belts, by the way.
The people got mad
Just
because
two?
he didn't defend the belts for a long time. So he didn't sit on his belt and just let guys keep fighting him over and over. So you can say whatever you want to say, but he definitely went and beat the people.
I'm not
that
saying
were
he's not a
supposedly the
good.
best
I'm
in
not
this
saying he's
division.
not a good fighter, but these ones that are getting all like hyped up, like he's not.
Oh
He's
yeah,
not
but
closing
he's a
out.
hype man.
He's not
That's
closing
what-
out. So that's exactly what I'm saying though. He's so much talk. Like, but if you talk that much, you better back it up. Like, those are just rules.
I think the thing is you got to realize is that it's a business, right? He is the best businessman for fighting that we've seen in a long time because his whole entire mantra and what he does is get people to dislike him or like him. Okay? His whole idea is to cause as much controversy and as much annoyance to the people that are like, either way, they're like, "Oh, I love McGregor. McGregor's so awesome." Or like like he's done to Seth, the opposite. I can't stand this guy. He's so freaking annoying. So you still want to go watch the guy just so you get to see his
Did
butt
I
get
watch him
kicked
last
by
night?
somebody.
Did not.
No, but we don't really watch UFC like we used to. But I'm telling you, that Diaz fight, both Diaz fights were fun to watch. Like his fights are fun to watch. He's fun.
I'm no way saying he's not a good fighter. He's just not as good as he says he is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which
I think
is the annoying part because you should always back up what you talk or don't talk. That's just the way I've lived life, and it's the way everyone should live.
No, there will be a McGregor Poirier 3. I think they both want it to happen.
But I mean, okay, here's the deal.
I bet he loses
and Nurmagomedov, if he ever decides to actually, fight.
He's gonna lose that too.
Yeah. The biggest weakness is, right, which everybody's figured out because Connor's fought too long. So the problem is that when you fought that many fights, they can go back and watch all of your, all your tape. And they can prepare to fight against whoever it is that they're fighting against. And the problem with Connor, which has always been the problem with Connor, and will always be the problem with Connor, is he doesn't have a good enough ground game. And so these people that they just wait. That's why whatever his name is, I can't say his name, so I'm not even gonna try.
So you're saying that he's bad on the ground, so he's probably better standing?
Yeah.
Right? So he's better at the boxing part of it. I was just saying.
He's an extremely good striker, but the difference between UFC and boxing is you only go 5 rounds and you can keep punching people and the ref doesn't break it up. The problem with boxing is every time you get close to him, you hug him, and if you hold on to the hug long enough, the ref breaks you up. So you can never really do like a ton of true damage because the ref won't let you.
But
It's all
boxing
about
is
just
lame.
Or
throwing
it's
punches.
5 rounds if it's the title fight or like the main event.
Yeah. But
Otherwise,
I
it's
think
3.
if Mayweather got in a ring with Conor McGregor in an MMA fight
I mean,
without weights on his
I already
glove,
said you
he would get
can't.
knocked the hell
I
out.
already said that you can't translate boxing into. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a boxing is a good fundamental when going into MMA, but you have a lot to learn.
Yeah, like because the thing is the whole way Mayweather fights is he dodges punches, but the way he dodges punches is in MMA. If he dodged punches like that, somebody would kick him in the face and he'd get knocked out in 2 seconds because he's very predictable in a way that like he goes low. So if you threw some punches and then just threw some knees and kicks into his face, you'd probably knock the dude out in like I really don't think he could fight. I don't even think he could survive like 1 round, even with like an okay MMA fighter. I just don't think he could. I think he'd get his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
I don't really like Mayweather. I think his fighting style is so lame. It's so not fun to watch. It's the boringest way to fight a fight ever. But it does work. He does win the games. So he wins the whole thing, but you don't enjoy like every time I've ever watched a fight by him, it's just like, dude, it just looks like he's running the entire fight. Like it's like he doesn't want to fight the guy. And then he throws his little jabs and stuff. It's just not an enjoyable experience. I would watch McGregor's fight just because he either dukes it out with the guy or loses to him. But he's only lost 5 times. I mean, the thing that people don't realize is that Poirier, or how do you say his name? Well,
Poirier.
He is
Yeah, he's actually
27.
from Lafayette.
Yeah, he's 27-5, I think. And McGregor's 22-5. So they win 75 or more than 75% of their matches. So these are like the top echelon fighters. Like there's professionally, they've only lost 5 times ever, both of them.
You say only lost. I hear they lost 5 times.
So they've won 22 fights and only lost 5. You know, that's not
Should have won 27.
I don't think there's that many fighters nowadays that can go the distance and not lose a single fight, especially in MMA, because
Khabib.
one mistake can easily cost you it.
Yeah, Khabib's on his road to 30-0. So
Khabib's good though, and he
Yeah.
whooped Conor McGregor. It wasn't even a fight. So you're right. Like I don't think Conor McGregor's the best fighter ever. I just think he's fun to watch because he riles everybody up.
Yeah, you may not say he's the best, but he is definitely the face of the UFC. So he's one of the reasons they've got the draw and the amount of money.
Joe Rogan's awesome. Yeah. Yep, you're
Sure,
right.
sure it is.
He's the face.
We talk about money and the face of franchises. Y'all had heard what the NHL has done, I guess, with the 2021 seasons.
They started melting the ice, playing on jet skis.
No, with the ads. Y'all heard about that?
No. Mm-mm.
All right, so a couple years back, I think it was 3 years, 4 years, NBA started having sponsorships on their jerseys, and it's I don't know, left or right. I don't watch NBA unless it's the finals, and each team has a sponsor. So it could be Chase Bank, it could be Honda, it could be Mass Mutual, Toyota. And obviously it was done for ad revenue. And it was only a matter of time before other sports franchises adopted a similar policy. The NHL is the next domino that has fallen. So for this season, they have started debuting ads along the front of the helmet they wear.
So what? They're gonna have like logos on the front of their helmets now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Make
to
some
top
cool
it off,
hockey masks, like goalie masks.
No, it's not on the actual shield. It's just like on the top. It's
Well,
red.
yeah, but on a goalie mask though, you could do it all over, make a cool design, get paid more.
Yeah,
Sure. Um, anyways,
they need to
they
do
have
that.
come out and stated that for this season and the season alone, uh, they are actually restructuring the divisions. So you have your four, like the West, the East, the North, and the Central divisions. Patrick,
So I'm assuming, right, that most of the best teams are in the North, correct?
Most of the best teams are where the money is.
probably.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so each, so you've got like so West, Central, North, and East. They are actually now um the West Honda division, the Central Discovery division.
No
I don't know
way.
yeah. So
They
and
really went
I'm
all the
probably
way
I'm
with it.
probably getting my ads, my sponsors mixed up a bit on that, but I know that they have Mass Mutual, I believe, Honda, Discovery, and I don't remember the last one, the fourth one. Anyways, but that is actually the title of the division.
That's kind of stupid though, because what happens if they stop wanting to be the uh the supporter of that division? Then you're gonna change the name again, and then it's just gonna keep changing.
Do you know how easy it'd be to change the name?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
Insanely easy.
East Chevy. You know, like no, that's stupid.
I
Yeah.
mean,
They have
it's a good way to
they've
make up on revenue that being lost and all
Yeah.
that stuff
so
going
that's
on.
what that said. They have come out and support of this because of the lack of ticket sales, or I
Yeah.
guess the lack of available tickets they have to sell due to COVID. However, though, companies are not known for giving up money, free money. So I would almost guarantee that even though they state this is a one season, the design that they have implemented, like a one season test run, I doubt it because they'll make a lot of money out of it and then realize, hey, we should have been doing this all along.
Oh yeah, no. I think if you're a professional team, they should be doing that because you make a lot more money by having advertisers than you do just by ticket sales and revenue. And it also takes because so many people watch things through the online media and through TV now over just going in, you make way more money if you focus more on ad revenue and like promoting different businesses and stuff than you do by selling a ticket to somebody. I mean, it's just the truth. I That's why NASCAR continues to be so
They don't do sponsors.
yes they do. And they are awesome. It's all over your car. They literally allow you to put like 4 billion sponsors on your car. It's insane.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing with like UFC, and that each of these um, sports, it's not a team sport, and so you've got a company or various companies sponsoring one person. I
Yeah.
think the difference is when it's a team sport like that, the I guess more their tradition is it's not um, Toyota's team, that is New York's team or um, Oklahoma's team or
Whoever's
Montreal's
team is
team.
giving them.
So
What, so
I'm
you
not a
think
big
it's going to be
I'm not a
like
big fan.
the Toyota Falcons or
It,
something
it
now?
may eventually come to that,
Instead of Atlanta, they'll be the Toyota Falcons.
but I'm not the biggest fan of having the ads plastered on the jerseys or replacing an actual division name or adding an
I
ad.
think the division name's dumb, but
Yeah,
the jersey thing, like, dude, come on. They play sports to make money, and if you're doing something that makes them more money, as long my thing is I hate ads where they just give you an entire commercial. But if you put your logo, I mean, whatever. Who cares if there's a Nike swish? They've done it for years. Who cares if there's a Applebee's logo on the side of your jersey? Nobody cares. It's like
but
whatever,
that's how
cool.
it starts, Patrick.
Then they have to get required face tattoos.
No, I
It's
mean,
like,
you
they
joke
have
about it,
tiers
but
down the side, and it's like, and each tier is like a logo of something. No, that's crazy.
yeah. Well, until
I mean,
2000 and
I get what you're saying, but I just don't think that it's gonna turn into that, dude. You
so
really?
until 2001, each NFL team had various sponsors. So, like right now, NFL's partly owned by Nike, right? So every jersey is going to have the Nike swoosh on it.
Yeah.
Before that, the 10 years prior, it was Reebok. Before that, though, you had like Puma and Starter and Nike. Um, you know, so each team, some teams have the same sponsors, but it wasn't like a unified sponsorship. And then 2001 happens, and Reebok gives NFL a butt ton of money and says, "Hey, we want our name on the jerseys." Oh, so okay.
Also,
So, for the next 10 years, every jersey made and worn has Reebok logo on it. No big deal because it's unified and every single team has it, right? Well, the license expires in 2011. So 2012 comes and Nike comes along and says, "Hey, we will give you even more money for the next 10 years."
Yeah.
NFL says, "Great. Okay, cool. No more Nike. I'm sorry, no more Reebok. We're going to do the Nike." Still unified, so every team has the same logos, or I guess sponsors, in the same places.
Yeah.
And Nike's come back out and they have extended the contract, I believe, through 2030 or something. So the likelihood of another sponsorship coming in and taking over was very low. However, though, having the different sponsorships on the various team jerseys, I believe, because it's not a unified um, thing, that you will start with what you said. Okay, cool. It says Nike, and then you got an Applebee's logo. 5 years goes by, and now you've got maybe 4 or 5 sponsorships on the jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
And before long, your jersey looks like a NASCAR.
Okay.
okay.
So why is that bad?
Because I think it distracts from the team or the franchise, and people focus more on just the ads.
Listen, I don't think they'll ever get to that point, and here's why. Because they're never going to cover the jersey entirely with logos. It's just not going to happen because part of a team sport is being able to easily um, discern
Identify.
between your team and the opposing team. So I do not think they're going to cover the entire jersey with logos because that could easily be very hard to identify in moments like where you're trying to make a split decision and you're looking to your left and right and it's in your blind vision. You're not going to be able to tell who your teammate is. They're not going to do that. Basketball, football, they're not going to do that. They might have some logos on them. Well, I don't think football will, but I don't think the NHL is just going to be covered. Maybe the helmet would, but they're always going to keep a discernible color that identifies you from an opposing player on the team, especially in a game where you have helmets and you can't see people's faces. Like, I don't think it's ever going to go down that road where the thing is with NASCAR, right? Like you said, is it's literally a car, so it doesn't matter. They can, as long as they have the number on the car, they can put whatever they want on the rest of the car. It's not the same as playing football or basketball or baseball. Like you need to know who your teammates are and who isn't. So I don't think they'll ever just remove or put 50 billion logos. I don't think you have to worry about that. Like,
I don't
It
know.
also costs
I'll
a
say
hell of a
this
lot more
as
for a NASCAR car than a jersey.
as a
So they're gonna
guy
pay
that
for it.
watches sports fairly often. I have commercials, especially in football. The amount of commercials has doubled or tripled the
oh
last
yeah,
couple.
yeah. It sucks.
So I have to sit through a plethora of commercials. That's ads. there are constant shout outs right before you go to commercial and right when you get back from commercial of various sponsors. More ads. That's more ads. The stadium, the field, the court, the wherever you're playing has ads all over it. 99.9% of stadiums, sports complexes are a ad itself. So you have like AT&T Stadium here in Texas where the Cowboys play. You have
But I mean, you got to think about it, dude. I get where you're going with this. It's like, yes, we're constantly bombarded by it, but that's because they spend a lot of money on it because they make a lot of money. But that's how you continue to fund these things that, you know, I mean, let's be honest. Playing basketball really doesn't do anything to change the world. It's purely an entertainment. If you didn't have people giving them money like ad revenue, they would never make enough money to pay these players and everybody the amount that they pay them off of just ticket revenue and what they get through people coming in to their stadiums. Like the like, I mean, it's the same with video games. Video games gamers in general are starting to have more and more of the same thing where they're starting to get sponsored by companies, and you have G Fuel everywhere you go. You see G Fuel, G Fuel. Half the people that are streaming are sponsored by G Fuel. They have little ads that go through on their stream. It's like, that's how those people make their money, and it's more consistent money than just hoping some guy's going to give you $5 every day. So it's
so you're
Also
justifying
sponsored
it
by-
by saying it's just one more thing.
I think
Why not?
it's
Why
it's
not?
something, it's a necessary evil. It might be annoying, and there's definitely a point where it goes too far, which I definitely think the NFL in general, this is why I don't watch their games as much anymore, is because they have so many ads. It's annoying.
But you're
It-
okay if they've got it on the jerseys, even though you just
but
said
yeah,
they
I'm
have
okay
so
if they
many.
have it on their jersey.
They have so many as it is, which you're annoyed at.
NHL already has ads. They already play ads.
So what's one more, right?
I mean, like, at the end of the day, yeah. What's one
Also,
more?
I mean, and maybe they could put them on jerseys and cut back on commercials. So, I mean, they won't
That
because
won't
greed.
happen.
But I'm just saying, like, an ad on a jersey means nothing. Like, take like esports, their jerseys have a ton of ads on them because that's how they make, their money. Because they're not as well formed as normal sports. But if you go, I guarantee if you go find 100 avid Cloud9 fans and you ask them the top 10 things they think about when they think of Cloud9, not one of those is one of their sponsors. Right.
Yeah.
Because even though it's all over their jersey, you can't not see the sponsors. Like, nobody's gonna think about it. People aren't paying attention. Subliminally they are, and that's why ad companies do it. But they're not gonna just sit there and go, "Oh, Cloud9, BMW." Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, are they subjected to the same amount of commercials or
Not yet, but
constant?
I'm sure they will eventually.
I mean, there are ads in it, but not at the level of sports. But that's
I
because
think that's what
also
offsets it.
we pay athletes way too much.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
always have, and it will only go up. And so they need to keep making more and more money. Like that's
Well, then
something.
you don't pay the
Somebody way
athletes
back in
because
the
they want to be paid.
then they just go somewhere
And then
else.
when they complain, they say, "Well, I'll take my talents elsewhere." You say, "Okay, I can get someone that's nearly as good as you for a fraction of the cost."
That's not how it works. People want names. Like, people want Tom Brady no matter what. Like, even if he falls off and he gets passed by 20 other quarterbacks that are better, people still want Tom Brady because he's Tom Brady.
Yeah, but Tom Brady also takes a fraction of the top 15 quarterbacks that are currently playing right now. He makes a fraction of that because he doesn't care about the money.
Well, he's already rich as hell.
Exactly, but I'm saying
And you got to think about all the sponsorships that Brady gets outside. Even if he takes a less, yeah, but in the same token as what you're saying, I can't believe they're adding more ads. Why are these players selling themselves out and taking sponsorships left and right? I mean,
I
I don't
mean,
want to
so
see Tom Brady in another
if right,
commercial.
if like the NFL said, "Hey, by the way, we're gonna pay you all half of what we're already paying you," there would be no games. Every single person would be like, "All right, we sitting," and there would be no games until the NFL goes, "We're sorry, we'll give you a raise." Right.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that a lot of uh entertainers in general are way overpaid. But to be honest with you, you got to think about it like this is what do people live for, man?
Well, I mean,
They live to be entertained and to have their
and
interests
and
sucked
I
up.
think
So if
I think
somebody's doing that,
actors, musicians, athletes should all get paid more. I definitely think that athletes, musicians, actors, like all should be paid more money. I think we excessively pay them. They don't need even close to what we pay them, but they have mastered their craft, and we need entertainment. Otherwise, like you were saying, we're just like drones that go to work and come home. We need
hmm
something else. Like I think we pay them too much, but they also should get paid a lot more. Otherwise, like 'cause that's what makes people want to excel in it and put in all the work because it is not easy to get to the point. But I definitely think even if it's just $1 million a year, they should be all right. But too many people are paying, making tens of millions.
I mean, I think here's the deal. This is probably going to be a little bit controversial, but you know, I think it's like I don't mind that people get paid that amount of money because it's like awesome, cool. But I also think that my biggest complaint with a lot of it is that people make all this money and it's like okay, wow, you were blessed, born, etc. A lot of them, yeah, okay, they do put a lot of work in, but they're also like extremely talented to begin with. That's why they become what they are. They're prodigies. They're like when we're talking about professionals on these levels, they're not just the average person that put in hard work. They put in hard work, but they also had the correct bodies, the correct minds that made them be able to get to that level. Like, that's
Oh,
why that's so it's like you pay them all this money and then they live these like absorbent lifestyles, waste all this fucking money on stupid ass shit that they don't need that doesn't like they buy these, quadrillion dollar houses and stuff and you're just like why? Like why do you have a 59 million dollar mansion? Like that's so stupid, you know? I just feel like I feel like if rich people were a little bit less selfish and still enjoyed being as rich as they are and gave a little bit more money to things that actually like help the rest of the world progress because there's still a lot of things in the world that are in terrible places. There's still lots of countries and people that live in like terrible living
I
conditions.
mean,
And then these dudes wallow in like freaking Patrick Mahomes got paid 550 million. I'm sorry, Jeff Bezos is worth what is he, $79 billion or whatever they said now? Like, what do
yeah,
you
he
need
got
$79
passed by.
billion for? Like, that's so
Got
stupid.
passed. He's no longer the richest person.
Right, because stock prices for Elon Musk's company went up, but they could easily drop back down and he would go back to not being it. But
But
I mean,
if you earn your money, you're in no way required to give it away. I
Yeah.
mean, cool if you do, but I mean, you're why should somebody who has been training their whole life, eating right their whole life, not indulging because they want to get to a certain point and they're there now? Why shouldn't they enjoy themselves? Why should they give their money away to people who are not training hard to do something, not trying to progress themselves? Like, how many people do you meet on the daily that aren't even trying to better their lives at all? And why do they deserve the money of somebody who sacrificed so much growing up to get to the point where they're at?
I mean, I get that. I'm not saying that people shouldn't, but I'm not saying that people shouldn't be paid and compensated, but I also just like I find it hard to believe that being worth 59 billion just because you came up with an idea and yeah, you worked hard for it. Like it's just stupid. Like we give so much money to these people and what do they do? What do they give back? Like besides like Like, what does Bezos actually give back? Yeah, he runs a company, whatever.
Hey, one day shipping, man.
What he gives back is every single thing you buy
But he's
online.
worth
Like,
$59 billion.
and
so
he's
what?
made your life so easy. Like, himself has made your life insanely easy with his model. And then all the extra stuff he's done, like the movie you just really enjoyed the other day that you bought off of Amazon. Like,
A Star is Born, which is a good movie, by the way. Very good movie.
Lady Gaga's actually a pretty good actress.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga killed it. It was a very good movie. I cried.
I heard they actually killed people in the movie, right? Like they actually killed it.
No, they didn't kill people.
Oh well, I think we watched the wrong movie then.
But here's the deal: is like, especially with entertainers. I mean, Bezos is a little bit different because at least he creates a business or whatever. But especially with entertainers, it's like, dude, yes, you're entertaining people, but it's also like, you know, I have a hard time respecting people that get to live the lifestyles that they live, and they're super selfish with their money and just don't ever do anything with it
it's
besides
not
spend on
selfish. It
themselves.
is their
being
money.
selfish.
How often do you give your money away?
I don't make that kind of money.
When was the last time you donated to somebody or something?
Twitch. I gave money to Fighter Vet for whatever his thing was.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that.
$60 for, I think it was for
almost a year ago.
Autism
That was,
or
no, stacked up. But
there you go.
But yeah, I mean, that was
Gamer Vets, right?
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So how much did you make last year? That was 2020. How much did you make? I mean, you don't have to give me an exact number because that's personal.
I made $52,000, something like that.
So you gave $60 out of $52,000 to charity last year.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So are you being selfish?
Yeah, kind of.
Well then,
I mean, I definitely could have given.
Start with you before going after somebody else. Like, I don't have numbers for last year, but it looks 131 million Bezos is what Bezos gave to charity. That's a ton of money. It's also, about the equivalent of what you gave in your percentage to your income, but you don't have to give a penny away. If your answer would have been 0, I would not thought less of you in the slightest, because that's your money. You decide how you do it with it. Like,
I mean, I get that. I get
not
that.
being selfish.
I'm not saying that people should be forced to give their money away. That's not what I'm saying.
That's exactly what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that
they should be forced. They should give away their money, or I'm going to trash talk them. Then they're not forced, but I'm going to talk bad about them because they didn't give away enough.
I'm not saying that. Okay, but look, Bezos's wife is worth $42 billion. She gave $6 billion away this year.
Okay.
So, okay,
so she's more charitable,
and she's still worth $32 billion.
Okay,
which will feed her, clothe her. She'll be able to buy anything she wants in the entire world. Buy any car, any house she wants. She could buy herself a husband if she wants to. She could buy herself as many servants as she wants to. Have them serve her, not have to do anything herself. Buy assistants to do everything for her. Manage her life. It's like, dude, like, I don't believe in just like, I don't think that like living a lifestyle like that is like really improving the world, though. That's my point. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, cool, they can do that. I'm not telling them they don't have to spend their money and whatever. But I'm saying when you get to that point, we're not talking about a guy that makes $52,000 a year. Even if you made $100,000, if you have 6 or 7, if you have 6 kids and a wife, you're still spending a lot of that money, like feeding all of them, paying for the things that they do. It's not like you just have money to just throw around. But if you're above I think if you're above $40,000 a year, you are still considered one of the richest people on the entire planet. That's just the truth. The majority of the rest of the world is still in, living in deplorable conditions. What are you doing to like try and better the world as a person? I think that a lot of these people get so sucked up in their narcissism. They believe so much in themselves, and they are like, I'm so talented, so I just spend all of my money on me all the time. Like, I don't think that's a healthy way. Like, I'm sorry, if I made that much amount of money, like there's a point where it's like, dude, if I was making $59 billion a year, which maybe someday I'll get there, who knows? I definitely don't want to say, oh, I'm keeping that 59 billion for myself. Like I'm either putting it back and making more businesses so more people can have better jobs, make better incomes, get themselves into a better place in life, or I'm putting it towards things that I feel like are going to better the world. Like I'm not just going to sit on my money. So, I mean, when you're the richest man in the world and you only give $131 million in charity, I mean, that's literally my $60. I would bet is probably a higher percentage of what I made in income compared to what this dude made because he's worth 59. How much is he worth, Seth? I mean, we could do the
Right now,
percentages.
I'm not
Yeah,
positive.
but just because somebody's worth that money doesn't mean they actually have access to all of that money.
Oh,
So
I mean that's true because he owns a company and the company is the valuation of why he's worth all that. But I still I don't really get what we're arguing about except for like I mean me I'm just saying that like if you're making that kind of money and you are literally royalty at that point. You're literally so far above the rest of the world when you get to that point. You're like the 0.0001% of all the world, you know? Like you are living in such over glorified, exorbitant life that you can do whatever you want, go wherever you want. You could stop working and never have to work another day in your life. Like, so what are you doing to like benefit the world? Like, I mean, I feel like that's a good
I,
question to ask somebody that makes that amount of money is like, what are you doing?
okay, so here's another good question. What are you doing to benefit the world?
Right. You
Why
just
does
keep
it?
bringing it back to me.
Why I'm just saying. Why does it? Why does how much money you make affect it? Like, I mean, maybe everyone should give 7% to
Because
charity across the board,
the difference
or
between
something. Like,
me
I mean,
and
but
somebody like that is if I quit my job tomorrow, I wouldn't be able to pay my bills in literally 1 month.
okay.
If they quit their jobs tomorrow, they could live their entire rest of their life without ever having to work a day in their life.
So
And
they earned that. He started out with nothing, working out of a garage with an idea, and I guarantee, well, I don't know if he was married at the time, but let's say, probably a wife at home going like, "What the hell are you doing?" And giving him so much trash, and he came up with a great idea, and he made it work, and now it's paid off. Like you and I, we haven't had great ideas that have worked. We've just worked a job. So that's the difference. Like he came up with something. And also, while you're talking, I was doing the math because I knew you were going to ask it. But so your percentage was 0.12. His percentage is 0.25 of an income in that year.
so if I gave $60 more to charity, I would beat Jeff Bezos out. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, in percentage.
Cool.
So do it.
I could probably do that.
If you're setting an amount, like do it. Like if
Most
you're
of
holding
the
someone to a standard, hold yourself to
listen,
that standard.
most Christian people I know give
No, they
10%
don't.
of their income. So they're actually what is that? They give 7.5% more of their income than a guy that is literally a king of the he is like
Well, I
literally
mean,
the emperor of the
these
world
quote
as far as
unquote
money
Christians
goes.
are giving their money to nothing. So, like they're
No, they're
to
not.
a bigger building or like.
I mean,
So that's not giving
my
giving
parents
money.
give or money to like, Samaritan's Purse. They go and uh help bring filtered water to third world countries. They bring food to people during like say a pandemic. I'm sure they're doing something right now. I think yeah, like I don't know. I don't believe in the idea that just because you're talented in something, just because you get your lucky break, dude, everybody busts their ass. Yeah, there's some people that are lazy in this world. I agree with you on that. But to say that, oh, well, I came up with a good idea, so now I'm worth this amount and I don't really do shit for people besides like create a business, that's cool. And like, that's cool. But you're not going to say, oh, I respect this person because they live this way and don't ever do anything for Like, I mean, okay, even somebody like, say you became a big Twitch streamer, you make a crap ton of money on streaming for Twitch, but the reason you're famous and the reason people are interested in you because they enjoy watching you, but you're also the people that watch you enjoy watching you. Your fans are part of the reason you're successful. So do you do something for them, or do you just like forget about them and believe like, "Oh, I'm the shit. I'm the best. Like I deserve all the money I get." No. Like just people gave you their support. They gave you their money because they enjoyed watching you, but it doesn't mean that you're just like above them now because you're like, I'm just so much more talented. That's like such a narcissistic thing to say, is like, I deserve it all because I'm so talented. Like everybody is a is a is everybody is something that they've been built into, that their parents, their environments, everything, the people that supported them, their friends. You are not just successful just because of who you are as a person. You're successful because of the environment and the people around you that have supported you and helped you get to that point, whether you
You're
believe they did or
successful
not.
based on what you put out. You only get back what you put out. Nobody who is worth anything
And
besides like trust fund kids, because that doesn't count, because somebody in their
why?
family made them money. So there are people
Okay,
who
so
like literally like aren't doing anything, but they're living off family money. That's different. But self-made people who are worth a lot of money are there because they did it.
yeah, but I still don't. Okay, the world doesn't work in a way where like it's like everybody's just going to get to that point. You can say whatever you want, but um equity and equality does not mean that there's going to be equal values. Okay, just because you get put in the same circumstance doesn't mean that you're going to be as successful as somebody else. I get that. Like that's cool. But I also think that it's like, if you are someone that is given that opportunity, you should do more for the people around you. You shouldn't, like, I don't believe in taking money from people. So like taxes, like raising the taxes on the rich. It's a stupid idea. Like I don't think that should be how it is. You should be able to give your money freely. But I also think that the higher you get in making money, the more responsibility you have to do something with it that makes the world better. Or else what are you? You're just some selfish dude that smuck that made a lot of money and then like dies. Like, so what? Like, what did you do? Like,
You've set up your family forever. Their family,
but they don't
their
deserve
family.
it. You just said they don't deserve it.
I'm
They
I'm
should go.
saying I'm saying it gives them
And
a
you don't have
better
any respect for people that
life.
are second
If
generation
when
white.
I have kids, they will have a better life than I had, and I like that's just how it goes. And not trashing my life at all. I'm just saying my goal is to give them a better life than I had. Like, and that should always be the goal. And some people just extremely succeed at it. But I mean, I get what you're saying about morality. Like,
Yeah, like
if I
you
mean,
can
I
say whatever you
already
want. I'm not saying that they
like
force it, but I don't think you're like a good person if you have
you're in
all
no
of
way
that.
required to do it though. Like, especially if you don't know exactly what that money is going to. Like, I give away a decent amount of money to charity every year, just because that's who I am. I want to give back as I can, and um, but and so like if I make $1 billion, I will give away a lot of money, not half of that, not because it's still my money and still I'm investing in other stuff, but it's still like that's who I am. But it's not a requirement for anyone. It doesn't make you a good person, but if you like,
I mean, I think it does
not
make you a
required.
good person
It no a lot.
because if you
So
just,
many people give money to charity to feel good about themselves,
yeah,
or to make
that's
other
true.
people look at them and be like, oh my god, look at them. They're not doing it for the right reason. Like, you should always, like, if you're not doing it for the right reason, just hold your damn, like, well, I guess not really, because still people get, it helps people. But anyways, like,
I feel like Will, you've been very quiet. What do you believe on this?
Um. So, hot take. you are free to do what you want with the money you've made. I don't think there should be any
Yeah.
expectations that
Well, there's
you
always
were.
going to be expectations.
Well, I
So
don't believe there
Expectations
should
set
be
by people who shouldn't
expectations
be
that you
able
are
to.
required to donate or give away any of the money that you've made. I feel if you've been helped or given aid, some sort of contribution should be given back as a gesture of goodwill. However, I don't think it's something that you're forced to do. Um, you mentioned Bezos, obviously, with the amount of money that he has, but you also have to remember his lifestyle is significantly different than yours, and that the food he eats, the cars he drives, the houses he owns, and I realize, yes, multiple houses, multiple cars. Um, his lifestyle costs an incredibly insane amount of money compared to your lifestyle.
Can I step in real quick?
Go
I
ahead.
just want to throw one other thing on there, along the lines of what Will is saying, because his net worth is not liquid assets. Like he doesn't have 59 billion sitting in the bank. If he sold everything he has, it would be 59 billion. So it's not even like he couldn't drop 20 billion because it's probably all invested in his companies, his cars, his boats. It's like, I mean, he'd have to sell those things in order to have it. It's not like he can just drop the money. But
right, and a lot of that stuff you can never sell once you buy it, or it's very hard to sell it because
yeah, especially at
when
the
you pay
amount you spend.
$59 million for a mansion, the people that can even buy a $59 million mansion or would want to, very few and far between. So
Right, sorry, Will.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. So his lifestyle's expensive, obviously, because of the money he makes. He's afforded the ability to do that, right? Um, he also has people that he has to pay. Obviously, he probably doesn't directly pay them, but he pays people that pay people that pay people that pay people. Just goes down the chain of command, right? The line. And so he has obviously the responsibility of this company and the probably hundreds of thousands of people that are employed. If I don't actually know how many people
Seven
work
hundred
for him.
ninety-eight thousand.
Okay, there we go. So almost a million people below him that even though the company he owns is worth what 59 billion is what y'all said, right?
That was too. Not right now,
Okay.
honestly.
We'll say 60 billion, just it's a nice round number. He has people that he has to make sure are taken care of that then take care of everyone else. So yes, it would be nice if he donated a lot of money. Yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have to. And I don't fault him or shame him if he does or doesn't. That's the money that he has, and it's the money he's earned. And he does what he wants with it. That's him. I you know like I said, you mentioned, oh, he could quit and retire. Yeah, probably. But
no, not probably. Yes, just say yes to that. Don't say probably.
I mean,
Seth's point,
without a doubt, but
he has generations that he is probably setting up. His grandchildren, his grandchildren's grandchildren.
No, yeah, yeah. His whole entire they would have to spend so much money to ever lose what he's gained. So he will have generations of children after him that do not have to work, don't have to do anything, and still make money.
they
Maybe
will
that's his goal.
Live
because he's
high
an
and rich.
intelligent person. All of his kids will
And
be
if he
trained.
decided to give away, 10% of his money, yeah, maybe that means that his great grandchildren are gonna have to work. And maybe that's not something that, because of his success, he's decided that he wants to do. So, you know.
I don't know.
Um
I think it
team
is. All right, continue.
I was gonna say, team-based sports. I know we started on this and kind of derailed. I feel like a lot of professional athletes that are in a team-based sport are overpaid. Because with it being a team-based sport, everyone works together, and you have a lot of players that are significantly, rather they are paid significantly more than they're worth, even though they rely on the dedication and the support of someone else on their team that probably makes half what they make. That star quarterback, that star running back, would not be able to produce the numbers they have if not for the team that was around them that provided them the defense or the offense. So yeah, I feel like a lot of these position players that are demanding the money they're demanding are not worth anywhere near that money. And I feel like if anything, you should level it across the board, and team players across on team based sports should make more, either together or less together. But I feel like they should make around. Obviously, some positions, yes, are going to require a bit more skill, and so there should be more money given.
Why not set salaries with like bonuses? So like, a quarterback is probably gonna get paid more than the rest. But say a quarterback I'm used to $50,000 a year. And then based on their stats they get a bonus as well. Like something like that versus, just by the way, we're gonna buy a contract. Like just every quarterback gets paid this, and then, based on your stats you get more money. Require people.
Yeah, but I don't believe
better.
a running back is worth 100 million. Especially behind a line of offensive linemen that probably make half of that.
Offensive linemen get ripped off, and they're half the reason that all these guys are successful.
They're getting like 200,000-300,000.
Yeah, and and without a good offensive lineman, watch a good quarterback go into a.
You could take a star quarterback, you get rid of him, and bring in an average guy, and as long as that team was already good, they'll still do good. They won't do great. He's not the same
Dak
quarterback,
Prescott.
but they'll still do good because the rest of the team is there. But you can't do the opposite.
That's my last take on the sports salaries. Is I feel like team based, there is a huge discrepancy in the position, and I feel like it needs to be brought more in line. Solo sports, so like UFC or NASCAR, golf, boxing, you are the reason you are successful, and you're only as good as you. So I feel like those sports can demand a higher price, and the players, or I guess fighters, golfsmen, racers, boxers, they can set the price that they want because they're the only ones doing it. So that's where I'll leave that discussion.
Fair enough.
Zeke is overpaid.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I just don't. I think if you just think that people that are like that, and then it's like you have to give back to all the people. And I also think that a lot of businesses, the people at the very top make like these crazy amounts of money, and then they pay all these people that make their businesses run jack shit. And it's like, that's not right either. Like you should take care of the people that make your business successful. And just because you're the brilliant brains of it, awesome. That's cool. And I'm not saying you don't deserve your wealth, but I also think that especially in America, it's a lot of businesses, they completely screw over the person that does all the crap that they need to make their business run. And then the people at the top are just yeah, I make these big decisions and it's cool, whatever. But it's you should still take care of the people that make you successful, because the majority, just with Jeff Bezos wouldn't be nearly as rich as he is if he didn't have all the people that he's hired and created, and all the jobs he's done to get people, the people that sell to Amazon. And I respect Amazon a lot, because I feel like they do pay better.
Pretty well, though.
They do pay pretty well, and I respect them for that, because a lot of people don't, and they're one of the few people that, without needing to be told.
Yeah,
that's why I don't believe in
15 an hour for warehouse and delivery jobs.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe. believe in minimum wage, like just forcing people to increase the minimum wage. That doesn't make any sense. But I think if you're a company that makes that kind of money, you should be thinking, what's the lowest person on my? Are they being able to live like a life that's, like if you're paying somebody $7 an hour, I'm sorry, I understand that like you can do it, but like nobody can live off of $7 an
Well,
hour.
but also, and
Nobody can pay their
I'm
bills
gonna
off
get
of
a
seven
I'll
dollars
I
an
get a
hour.
lot of hate for this, but jobs at minimum wage, like McDonald's, are not career jobs. They're not like they are entry level jobs. They're you're in high school and doing some extra work. You're in college and you don't have time to spend a bunch of time at work. You're just trying to make a little bit on the side while you're in school. Like that's what they're designed for. Like if you are in your 20s not going to school, working at McDonald's, then that's on you. Like that job is designed for high schoolers and stuff like that. Like that's what minimum wage is for. It's to get your foot in the door, learn work stuff, but we also don't expect a bunch from you. You probably aren't going to show up to work very often. You're not going to have the skills that we would expect you to have at an older age because this is your first job. You're learning time management, that kind of stuff. Like
But
that's
I
the
think
point
part
of
of the
minimum
reason
wage. But
people
too
don't
many
show up,
people
huh?
are in there. I mean, I interview people all the time at work who just left McDonald's and they're older than me. And it's just, and they've been there like, oh yeah, I've been there for like 5 years. I'm like, why? Why? Like, there's so many
Yeah,
jobs out there. You can leave and find something else.
Well, you raise the cost of minimum wage and then the increase the price of products. So, $3 gallon of milk becomes $4.50, $5 because the company's paying the employees more. So they have got to recoup the cost somewhere.
Cost of
And now
production
you're
just went up, so
exactly, and then a year from now, you're in the same exact situation as you are a year ago.
I feel like we've talked about it. Finances enough. Let's just call it there. So,
if you have an opinion that you want to be
oh,
made
everyone
known,
has an
please,
opinion on this, no matter what it is.
please
Like, I'm sure you can find a 5-year-old with an opinion on this subject. So,
leave a comment below. I just like to hear what other people think about it, just because it's interesting to see what lots of different people think about something like this. Because I think this is a pretty controversial subject in a way. Like, I'm sure there are going to be people that fall on a very extremes here, and all in between.
yep.
So it'd be
And
interesting to see
no
what
one's
people have
right,
to
but
say.
everyone's right. So,
Okay, we're not giving participation awards.
I'm just saying, like, this is one of those things that
Yeah.
no one's really right. Each situation's different.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Guess it's gonna go ahead and be it for us this week at the
Wrapping up.
Talking Guys. Yeah. We're so close to 100 subs, so if you haven't already, please consider it.